Alright, what's good YouTube? Gentleman Thomas here, coach of the Copenhagen Galates with my UPA Week 2 Team Builder. This week we are going up against the Seattle Smeargles, coached by SDU. Quickly, before I go into the actual team build, I just want to say thank you to those that watched the video last week and the battle last week. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, got a loss in our first week, so we're trying to bounce back this week. And to do this, I've tried to create a team as good as I could. Um, but this team is proving kind of difficult for me personally to build with. It's a bit different than what I'm used to. I'm used to very like fast-paced offensive mons with like one or two or three walls, but here it's much more of a balance, and I have a couple of mons that can do a lot of different things, and I'm having trouble kind of figuring out exactly what to do with these mons. But yeah, let's take a look at our opponent's team. So as said, it's the Seattle Smeargles, coached by SDU. I'm just gonna say I absolutely hate this team. Not because I think it's a bad team, it's actually quite opposite. It's so thick and tangy and just, oh my god, I just don't want to play against it. It's so annoying. As you can see, he has Mega Venusaur, Heatran, Milotic, Tornadus, Lycanroc Dusk, Jolteon, Dusclops, Haxorus, Florges, Avalok, and Scrafty. He has 2 Stealth Rock users in Heatran and Lycanroc Dusk. He has no Spikes, T-Spikes, or Stick Web setters. He has 3 removers in 2 Defoggers in Tornadus and Florges, and 1 Rapid Spin user in Avalok. He has 2 Heal Bell users in Florges and Jolteon actually, which also both get Wish. Now, the thing about his team being tanky is because not only are they bulky AF, almost anyone, not anyone, but all of them get some form of recovery. Venusaur gets Synthesis, Lead Seed, Heatran doesn't get something, but Milotic gets Recover, Dusclops gets Pain Split, Florges gets Wish, Avalok gets Recover, and then Florges can just pass the wishes around to like Scrafty or Heatran or even like Lycanroc and Tornadoes and stuff like that. His team is gonna be so annoying to break through. So this week I had a bit of a focus on bringing some really hard hitting mons to break through his team and then try and clean up with one of my mons at the end. And actually, that mon is our very first Mew, also known as Avatar. Mew is going to be holding the weakness policy with this week. If the holder is hit super effectively, it raises the attack and special attack by 2 stages. Of course, Mew has synchronized ability like last week because you can't run any other ability. Mew is going to be a Jolly Nature with 24 HP, 252 attack, 0 defense, 0 special defense, and 232 in speed. This allows me to outspeed the Haxorus. Now, as you can see, Mew's moveset is Leaf Blade, Drain Punch, Psychic Fangs, and Dragon Dance. Now, after a +1, Mew outspeeds the entirety of my opponent's team, barring any scarf that is above base 100, which I don't think Tornadus, Lycanroc, or Jolteon would be scarfed. Lycanroc, of course, gets Sucker Punch and Excel Rock. Haxorus, of course, gets First Impression, so I have to watch out for the priority there. And Tornadus, of course, has Prankster, so she could. Sorry, I was still thinking about Nadia. But as you could bring Tornadus with Tailwind, for instance, to speed up his own team. But basically, Mew is bulky enough to take a +1 from Haxorus no matter what. So if he D-dances on one of my mons, I do damage to it. He kills me. I can send in Mew. I can D-dance on his hit against me. I think on anything except Outrage, I calc the crunch, and I can take the crunch if need be. But don't think I can take the Outrage. I think Outrage dodges like, I think it's 101% as at minimum if he's +1 Jolly. Of course, if he's adamant, it's a whole different story. But yeah, so the basic premise of Mew is to go in on his Dragon Dance on him, kill him. He activates my weakness policy with Crunch if he has it, and then I just go in. He could swap in the Scrafty and swap it out again, sure. But I actually do think I get some momentum there, because that means I at least get 3 hits off, or I get to heal up with Drain Punch on 7 mons. So overall, I don't think it's a bad tactic, but it's definitely relying on him. I'm just, I'm sorry if you're not a him. I actually don't know SGU. I forgot to ask, so I'm sorry, but it depends if SGU plays really smart with going into Scrafty and then going into Mega Venusaur to take the Drain Punch and then back into Scrafty to take the Psychic Fangs. So it becomes kind of a prediction game there. The reason for the 3 moves in Leaf Blade, Drain Punch, and Psychic Fang is basically the first three mons he has. I can hit each one of them with a super effective hit. Plus, I can hit Avalok with Drain Punch, I can scrap it with Drain Punch. Drain Punch is good for healing, Psychic Fangs is stab. And I opted for Leaf Blade over Thunder Punch because Leaf Blade is a better neutral move against this team, and it does a bit more damage than Thunder Punch or what. I didn't want to run Wild Charge because of the recoil. I'm sorry, I just got a little bit in my chest there. But so I opted for Leaf Blade. I know Leaf Blade gets resisted by Venusaur and it's resisted by Tornadus, and yeah, Leaf Blade is actually probably a worse move when it comes to timing wise than Thunder Punch, but I think the overall damage on Milotic is more important. Now, Mew is meant as the sweeper of this week, so it's gonna come in late and it's gonna go in to try and sweep his entire team or sweep what is left. So I need some early game breakers, and here we have Terrakion, also known as the Diesel. Dragon is going to be holding his choice band, which gives him his attack of 1.5 times, but he can only select the first move it executes. Of course, it has the Justifies ability just like the last week, for Dragon also only have one ability. The EV spread for Dragon is 64 HP, 252 Adamant Nature with 0 defense, 0 special defense, and 168 speed. Now, this does actually mean the Haxorus outspeeds Terrakion, but that is on purpose because I want as much damage as possible with this choice band set. I do outspeed, I believe it was an Adamant Haxorus, if he's neutral, of course. But I opted for the damage from Terrakion rather than to outspeed the Haxorus. And to do this, the moves I've chosen is Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, Close Combat, and Sacred Sword. Now, Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, and Close Combat I had from the beginning. Stone Edge stab, Close Combat stab, Zen Headbutt to hit the Mega Venusaur if it's like the last Mon or it's that or something else I know I can hit with Zen Headbutt. Now, I put Sacred Sword on Terrakion because originally I was Stealth Frogs, but I never really. I did a mock battle versus B-Town, so shout out to you, B-Town. But I never got a chance to put up my rocks. I don't like having rocks on a choice mon. I know some people do it, but I'm not much for that. So I swapped my rocks for Sacred Sword because 2 reasons. One, if I don't have to go for close combat, and I know Sacred Sword is gonna kill no matter what he brings in or 2 shots, whatever he brings in, I can go for Sacred Sword and not get the defense drop. Plus, if his Scrafty, because this was something I was told with B-Town, so this is kind of my semi-counter to that, is a bulk upset, and he gets to like plus. He has to be +3 to realistically lift the CC. However, I opted to go with Sacred Sword, so no matter what, can break through his Scrafty, because Sacred Sword ignores any stat changes. So this is kind of my way to deal with a bulk up Scrafty. Now, Dragon isn't the only breaker this team this week, because we are also bringing Norven. Now, Norven, also known as Banshee, is going to be holding the choice specs. Yeah, I'm bringing 2 choice mons, which is very much unlikely what I typically do. I typically only run 1 choice mon, and there's several weeks where I actually don't run any choice mons at all. But choice specs lets the holder special attacks be 1.5, but it can only select the first move it executes. This week, Norvern is going to be Frisk, because if I switch in, I want to see if is my opponent a Scarf, is it a choice specs, is it leftovers, is it whatever. This lets me scout out a lot of items. It lets me know what I have to deal with. Because I don't think he could be sub. I mean, he could be sub on if he's sub DD or sub something on Haxorus or some other mon, and I don't have Infiltrator with Norven. That's my bad. That's my mistake. It is what it is. I have to just play around that. Now, Norven is a timid nature, 88 HP, 0 defense, 252 special attack, 0 special defense, and 168 speed with the timid nature. Did I say that? I actually don't know. But it's the timid nature to outspeed um, anything that is called. I think it's anything that's called Tornadus. I actually can't. Oh, I can't remember right now. I think it's Tornadus. I'm pretty sure it's Tornadus and below. But of course, something like Lycanroc is most likely gonna have the Excel Rock. So I don't expect Neuron to be able to sweep his team. If SU doesn't bring Lycanroc, it can. If I can hit Hurricanes after Heathran is gone down. Speaking of Hurricanes, the moveset Neuron is gonna be rocking is U-Turn, Hurricane, Focus Blast, and Draco Meteor. Um, This lets me hit pretty much anything on his team from some high damage. I can Hurricane the Venusaur, I can Focus Blast the Heathran, I can Hurricane slash Draco Meteor the Melodic. Even Focus Blast actually does like 40% if it's a physically defensive Melodic, which I think it will be. I can hit the Dustclops, I can hit the Floor. The Florges, if it's especially defensive Florges, is probably going to be the main problem for Northern to break through. But yeah, so Norven and Dragon are basically going to be the breakers this week. They are going to be the mons that are going to whittle down his team so Mew could come in and go for the sweep. But I also need to kind of focus on my own team. How do I deal with his mons? And to start with this, I have this Grimsnyl set. And this Grimsnyl set is kind of out there. It's my first time using Grimsnyl ever, and I bring this kind of ridiculous set. It's I even had several discussions with some other players about a potential power swap Grimsnyl to power swap Haxorus stat changes with my Grimsnyl. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of fearing that Haxorus. I'm also fearing Lycanroc. Like an a sword stance Lycanroc is also gonna be super scary for my team. But yeah, this Grimsnyl, who is also known as Azeroth, is gonna be holding the Big Root. Big Root lets the holder gain 1.3 times HP from draining, aquaring, ingrain, leech sheet, and strength sap moves. Actually, it didn't say moves on the description. It sounds dumb if it doesn't say it, but it did. So, so this doesn't mean that draining moves are going to do more damage, but I gain more health from my draining moves, and I'm gonna be utilizing the Prankster ability on Grimsnyl, which means this Pokemon's status moves have priority raised by 1, but dark types are immune. So this does make it so Scrafty can swap in on any of my status move, but Scrafty also don't want to take a fairy move, so I kind of highly doubt it. I think this is kind of a safe choice for Grimsnyl. Grimsnyl is going to be a modest nature with 144 HP, 0 defense, 2 special attack, 112 special defense with 0 speed. And I'm very much banking this 0 speed on SU being no speed Scrafty, pretty much. And of course, Avalog I'm pretty sure outspeed no matter what. Um, but basically, the idea, if you look at the moveset of Grimsnyl, is Dark Pulse, Draining Kiss, Taunt, and T-Wave. And the idea of Grimsnyl is to 1v1 the Milotic every day of the week. So basically, I'm in against the Milotic. I know I know it most likely will swap out probably to Heathran every day of the week. But if it's a 1v1 situation in the end, I can taunt so it can recover, and then a Draining Kiss gives an automatic 75% health back, plus the 1.3 from Big Root makes that a 97% recovery rate from Draining Kiss. And I do a roughly around 20%, so I'm gonna be healing 20% every time I attack with Draining Kiss, and his skull does about 25%. So if he is a Flame Upset with max defense, no special defense, or very low special defense, that means that this Grimsnyl can 1v1 the Melodic because he can't recover because of the taunt, and he will lose health from the burn and the draining kiss, and I will gain health from the draining kiss. Dark Pulse is there mainly just as secondary stab. It hits the dust clubs. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. It doesn't do too much damage to anyone. Like basically, this Grimsnyl is a very high risk, high reward type of thing because it cannot do a whole lot against most of his team. I mean, T waving around is super good. Like when I went against B Town in my mock, I actually managed to T-Wave, I think, 3 of his Mons with the Grimsnyl. So just having T-Wave is really, really good. Also, of course, T-Wave is a last-ditch effort for a setup Haxorus or setup Lagenrock. Though I do think his Haxorus could be holding the Lumberry, which would be very unfortunate. But I can't really do much about it because I did discuss with M Dragon about potentially having knockoff on one of my other mons. I'm gonna show in a bit. But we agreed the moves that it has right now is probably the best it can have at the moment. This week is like last week was difficult. This week is difficult. I don't get how my team got rated this high because I'm finding so many flaws in it, and I personally just have a hard time playing with it. I think I'm playing too defensively with it. Probably that's probably the problem. Can you say probably too many times? But yeah, if you want to say something, let me know it down in the comment section about how you think I could play the team. Also, leave a like if you liked the video, of course. But the next one on the team is gonna be Weezing, also known as Ziza Clown. Ziza Clown is a reference to One Piece again, because I freaking love One Piece. It's gonna be holding the Black Sludge, which each turn, if the holder is a poison type, restores 1/16 of their HP, and it loses 1/8 if not. Now, if you look at that ability, you are probably thinking, man, you're kind of stupid. But not really, because this is actually kind of big brain in some ways. So I'm using neutralizing gas over levitate, which means while this Pokemon is active, abilities have no effect. And the reason why I'm doing this is because his most likely ground type move user in Haxorus with Earthquake has a Mold Breaker most likely, so Levitate wouldn't matter anyway. The the other mon that could use a ground type, which I really hope it doesn't, because this mon is actually meant to take on that mon, is the Mega Venusaur with Earth Power / Earthquake. Um, Weezing is a I have written. Okay, this is written wrong. It's not bold. It's calm nature. It is calm nature. Don't worry. It is calm nature with 248 HP, 0 defense, 76 special attacks, and 184 special defense with 0 speed. And the reason for this is because this Weezing is kind of meant to not 1v1, but kind of be a menace to the Mega Venusaur. Because with Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, Taunt, and Pain Split, we are gonna have a stall battle if those two goes up against each other, and none of us are gonna switch out. Because of neutralizing gas, I can neutralize the thick fat on the Mega Venusaur, making Fire Blast a super effective move, which, if he's not especially defensive Venusaur, makes Fire Blast do around roughly 40% on some of the higher rolls, around somewhere in the 35 to 40%. And I fully expect him to have either Leech Sheet or Synthesis, which is why I'm probably gonna go for Taunt turn 1 as he potentially Leech Seed, because if he's only Leech Sheeting me and not Synthesis, I can kinda, not win 1v1 it, but I can whittle it down enough that it can't take any more hits rest of the battle. And then I can Pain Split if he starts to heal up too much. So that's basically the premise of Weezing here, not Venusaur, Weezing. And of course I have Sludge Bomb for just some stab damage. It can poison. I mean, sure. So yeah, that's basically Weezing's role. It's a special defensive wall, but it also meant to kind of will down his Venusaur lid. It can do decent damage against the Florges, of course. So yeah, the last mon on the team this week is again gonna be Dilmeis. This time Dilmeis, known as Going Merry, is gonna be holding the Culpa Berry. Halves damage taken from super effective dark type attack, a single use. It of course has the Steel Rigger ability. It has 248 HP, 200 and defense with an impish nature, and 60 special defense with 0 speed. It also has 0 attack, but actually it doesn't need really attack this time around. It's gonna have Poltergeist, Rapid Spin, Power Whip, and Synthesis. Man, hate that word. So basically, with the Color Barrier, I guaranteed to survive a +1 and even a +2 non-outrage move from the Haxorus. I can survive any move from the Lycanroc. This is basically meant if he sets up with either of those two mons, I can go in. I can go into Dilmeis on his setup, take whatever he wants to throw at me, and if it's the Lightning Rock, I can kill it back. If it's the Haxorus, I can do enough damage so the Mew strat can work. Basically, I just don't freaking miss Poltergeist. Please, Delmice. I have used Poltergeist like 4 times or something like that in my matches in this league and WPF. And I've literally missed it twice, even though it's a 90% move. 90% accuracy move. I don't get how I missed it twice out of, I think it's 4 or 5 times or something like that. It's insane. I don't get it. So please, for the love of God, don't miss Poltergeist. Please. Also, I tested this. Poltergeist does hit the Mega Venusaur, so I can touch it with anything with more than just Rapid Spin and Power Whip. And generally, this can touch most of his team. This is just meant to kind of take a hit and hit back. It's not any sort of win condition or end game or anything. It's just my kind of last ditch effort not to get swept by him, by SU. So yeah, that was basically the team this week. I'm sorry if I kind of sped through the team builder a little bit this time, but I actually have somewhere to be in not too long. Not to be, but something to do and not too long. So I kind of had to speed through this. But yeah, again, as I said before, let me know what you think of the team. Let me know what you think I could do in the future regarding to building the team. But also let me know if you like the video. Let me know if you think I should explain some things a bit more. Let me know if you think I should slow down the pace. Though this time around, I did speed up my how can you say talking pace a little bit because I have to be somewhere and I have to do something. But yeah, let me know. I really, really wanna. I know not too many people watch these videos, of course. Like I don't expect people to really watch these videos, but I like getting comments every now and then. I think it's fun. But also leave a like. I don't know, like typical YouTube stuff. You know, tell your friends. I don't know. See ya. Peace, YouTube.